Focus modes and how they work. Regardless of what shooting mode you're using, the chances are there will be a subject in your image that you want to have in focus. If that focus is not achieved, the image will not be what you wanted. Sony Alpha series cameras come with a range of autofocus modes. However, for simplicity, the two that are the most important to understand are AFS and AFC. AFS stands for autofocus single. This is best used when taking photos of a stationary subject such as portraits, people, landscape, buildings, etc. When you press the shutter, the focus will be acquired and locked on the point for as long as you hold down the button. If you want to change the focus, you'll need to release the focus button, recompose, and then re-half press the shutter button. AFC stands for autofocus continuous. This is best used when taking photos of action or moving subjects such as sports and wildlife. The focus will be acquired and locked onto the given subject when you half press the shutter. When the subject moves, the focus will adjust, with it refocusing all the time until the photograph has been taken. These modes are not to be confused with the lens's autofocus and manual focus switch. AF stands for autofocus, MF stands for manual focus. This switch is an override if you want to manually focus your lens. If you want to use autofocus modes discussed above, make sure that the AF switch is on. Focus points. Both of those focus modes rely on what are known as focus points. When you focus through the viewfinder, you should see a number of little squares and dots overlaid across the screen. When you half press the shutter, you'll see one of these squares will be highlighted in green. These are the active focus points, and it is the position in the frame that the camera focuses on. Newer mirrorless cameras come with incredible updated focus systems. The Sony Alpha A7 IV tracks subjects with real-time tracking using 759 phase detection autofocus points. That's a mouthful. However, only you know what you want to focus on, and there's no better way to ensure the current subject is in focus than by focusing on one focus point and placing that focus point over the subject. You can do this by changing the camera's focus area settings. If you select a single focus point, like flexible spot focus, you should be able to change which point is active fairly easily, either by using the directional thumb button or one of the dials. If you select a focus point on your desired subject, you ensure that the camera's focus is where you want it to be. After a small amount of practice, you will soon get in the habit of being able to change your focus point without taking your camera away from your eye. Initially, set your camera to use a single focus point. Your camera manual should tell you how to do this. Once you're familiar with the basic focusing modes and focus point sections, you can then explore the more advanced modes that your camera may offer. However, only you know what you want to focus on, and there is no better way to ensure the correct subject is in focus than using the focus area function. Use this when getting the proper focus in autofocus mode is difficult. There are 6 focus area settings. First, wide. It focuses automatically on a subject in all ranges of the image. This is basically a point and shoot default mode. It finds what is most likely to be the center of interest and focuses on it. Next up is zone. Zone is similar to wide, but with more control. Zone consists of 9 focus areas you can move around while the camera will still select the center of interest to focus on. Center. This focuses automatically on a subject in the center of the image. This is more like our old school film cameras, where the camera will focus on whatever is in the center of the frame. Next, flexible spot. Both powerful and straightforward, the camera provides a small focus point visualized by a small green glowing square. On the Sony Alpha series cameras, you can control the size of the focus point. This is great for controlling exactly where your focus goes. Expand flexible spot. If the product fails to focus on the single selected point, it uses the focus points around the flexible spot as the second priority area to achieve focus. It's like flexible spot, but smarter. Lock on autofocus. This focus area takes expand flexible spot, but then it will lock on and follow the subject once you have started focusing. Once locked, you or the subject may move while the focus keeps following the subject. Now get out there with your camera and try all these different focus settings. See which ones you prefer, which ones you dislike, and which ones work better in different scenarios. The more you get outside and shoot, the better you'll understand your camera. If you're in the market for camera gear, we highly recommend purchasing the Adorama. Become a VIP 360 member and receive free 2-day shipping on all products. Members also get a 60-day return policy with free shipping, as well as a 1-year accidental damage protection plan.